The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon or evening, or maybe even somewhere where you are, it might be morning still. Nonetheless, I appreciate you coming on to this webinar. I know that there is a lot of excitement about TradePartner, and there's also a little bit of confusion. So hopefully, I will be able to help with that in today's webinar. As you can see here, I've got a little line here. Assimilate resistance is futile. And if you know where that's from, I apologize. I had to I had to use it. It just fits with TradePartner, and of course, I believe it fits because it's only a matter of time. It's not if; it's only a matter of time before traders will want to use TradePartner in one way or another. And there are several reasons for that. Several reasons I say that. Some of this, some of the reasons I'm going to go over in the webinar today. So we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, TradePartner. Uh, what does it do? And maybe even more importantly, why do you even care? I mean, why do you care about what TradePartner might do? That's really the question that I need to answer today. Why would you care? Why would you want TradePartner? And maybe more importantly than that, even, is why should you fork over $997 for a lifetime access to a trading platform, right? So those are the questions I'm going to answer today, as well as some of the questions with regard to some of the confusion that exists with TradePartner. And quite frankly, the reason some of the confusion exists, and it's not a lot, but it's enough to make me want to do the webinar. Um, but the reason that there's confusion is because there's no other trading platform that does what TradePartner does. So you've never seen this before. So I completely get it. I completely understand. It's just a matter of am I able to communicate effectively why it is that you should care about TradePartner, and more importantly, why you should fork over $997 for lifetime access. And the reasons are wide and varied. But I want to start with giving one reason, the number one reason I created TradePartner, and the number one reason why I believe it is not, why it is not if, but when you use TradePartner. Because I believe that we all value the most what I'm about to go over here. I believe we have this in common as traders with regard to what we value. And let's see here. Why is this go? There we go. Um, so my question is, well, let me first tell you that it depends on your age, but the older you get, the more you're going to value this. I think you would still value, even if you're a young person coming in to this webinar, maybe you're brand new to trading, you're young, getting started with trading, whatever the case is. The older I get, the more I value, and the more value I assign to this one thing. And of course, I'm not talking about God or family. Those things are given. I'm talking about within the context of trading. In fact, if I were to ask you which would you rather have, I promise you, we all would answer the same thing. All right, so what is that? Well, would you rather have $10 million or 10 of this? And I can almost guarantee that every single one of you would answer the same thing. You would rather have the 10 of this than $10 million. If you cannot have both, which would you rather have? And what is 10 of? Would you rather have 10 of this? What is it that everyone would answer? How about 10 more years? If you only had one of these two things, you cannot have both. You had 10 more years or you had $10 million, which would you rather have? Most of you were going to say, yeah, I want 10 more years, right? We don't want to, yeah, and good Lord willing, hopefully we all have at least 10 more years. But my point is, the one thing that traders value more than generating a return is time. And tell me that's not the case. I've been trading for a long time myself. There is no more of time, right? We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have 7 days in a week, 12 months in a year. We cannot increase that, period. Okay. And yet, we as traders, what we do is we spend way too much of the one thing we want more of to generate more of the one thing we want less between these two things, right? We spend way too much We spend way too much time trying to generate more returns when in reality what we really want is we want more time. And that's more valuable than more returns. And what we do is we say, okay, well, if I can just get enough returns, then I'll have more time. Tell me that's not the case. That is why most traders trade. So we believe that there is more that there is more value in time, and most of us are in trading because we think that we can generate returns enough to buy us more time, or to buy us more free time, I should say. We don't get more time, but we do have what we choose to use with our time. And I'm going to, I know this for a fact. Very few people want to spend their time in front of a screen all day long to generate returns. And very few people do. And very few people can. But even if you could, most of you would not want to. I can, and I don't want to. Right? So, let's see here. Let me see. Don't want my computer to die on us. So let me make sure this thing gets. All right. That should take care of it. Sorry about that. So anyway, this is why I created TradePartner. Okay, you do not have to spend all day in front of the screen. Yet there is a tremendous number of opportunities that exist if you can sit in front of the screen that you cannot otherwise generate, right? So one major premise behind TradePartner was to create literally a trading partner that would watch the markets for you so you can generate better returns without spending the time to do so. So we all want to generate better returns to give us more free time, right? Retirement would be one thing. The sooner you retire, the more free time you have, right? So the question is, what are you going to do, and how are you going to generate those more returns? Well, the fact of the matter is if you can sit in front of the screen, there are more returns to be had. And what TradePartner allows you to do is it allows you to take advantage of those opportunities without spending the time in front of the screen. So, for example, how does it do this? How does TradePartner provide you the opportunity to take advantage of better opportunities to increase your returns while not having to sit in front of the screen to do so? And this is how. There are only two ways to place on this trade. Two ways, and two ways only to place on this trade. And let's see here. Hopefully that didn't work. I assume everybody can still see the screen. It should not have paused. Very good. All right. Everybody can still see the screen. There are two ways to place on this trade. And here are these ways. Number one, sit in front of the screen all day. Or number two, use TradePartner. There is no other way to place these trades, or this trade today, which was placed today. There's only two ways. Now, this trade has no risk to the downside. It's an option spread. It has no risk to the downside. The risk to the upside is less than $100, and the market has to move all the way to about 286 to 287 before it approaches that max risk. Okay. Now, you cannot take this trade unless you are watching the market. Unless you're watching the markets in order to place the trade, or unless you have TradePartner do it for you. Okay, now why is that? Well, the reason why that is the case with this particular opportunity is because there are 5 legs to this trade. 5 legs. And the exchanges do not allow more than 4 legs within one order. No exchange allows more than 4 legs within one order, period. And so this literally is not available to you because it requires 5 legs. And so how does TradePartner place this trade? If no exchange will allow a 5-legged trade, how does TradePartner do it? Well, this is how TradePartner does it. First of all, TradePartner places the first order. It's a sell one, buy two. Okay, forget the strikes, forget the expirations. That's not important. The important is that there's a sell one, that's leg one. There's another sell one, it's a different strike or a different expiration or different both. And then there's a buy one, and then there's a different buy two. So I'm selling one, that's a one lot, selling one lot, buying one lot, and then buying a 2 lot. So in other words, I have short 2, long 3 is what that amounts to. Okay. And I'm placing this order in for a debit of 225. Now, if the market was not trading, or if this particular spread was not trading at a debit of 225, then I have to sit there and I have to wait for it to get filled. And that was the case this morning for a short period, like 10 minutes. I had to wait. All right. So instead of me sitting and waiting for TradePartner or for this particular trade to get filled, I set it up in TradePartner, and then TradePartner sits and waits for it to be filled. And why does TradePartner need to sit and wait for it to be filled? Well, the reason is because as soon as this trade is filled, I mean the second that this trade is filled, I want to place the 5th leg on the trade. Okay, so if this was not filled until 2:30 in the afternoon and I place the order at 9:30 and I'm sitting there and I'm just watching and I'm watching and I'm watching and I've got nothing else to do, right? Wrong. Other than to sit in front of the screen and watch for this stupid order to get filled so that I can create a much more desirable trade than if I wasn't sitting here and watching the screen. Okay, so that's what TradePartner does. As soon as this trade is filled, it then places the 5th leg. Now, why do I want the 5th leg placed? Why not just stick to a 4-legged trade? Well, I can stick to 4-legged trade. There's nothing wrong with that. I just have to be willing to accept the lower risk reward metrics associated with that 4-legged trade. Okay, I cannot put on the same risk reward metric type trade without this 5th leg. All right, so here's the 4-legged trade. This is without the 5th leg. Okay, so here's the sell one, buy one, buy two. And the risk on this particular trade is about $230. Okay, to the downside. The upside potential is unlimited. Really, it's not much more than if I were to buy an option and have unlimited profit potential with limited risk, right? Only it's expensive. It's an expensive option, and they are expensive in SPY. Nonetheless, this is a 4-legged, and this is my core trade. That's what's setting me up for this 5th leg. And as soon as this is placed, because I don't want to see the market go down and realize a $230 loss based on a small movement down, I place on the 5th leg, and that's what I get. Now, all of a sudden, I have no risk to the downside, and I have a large profit potential all the way up to about 283-ish, with the market trading below around 270. It was trading at around 278, 75-ish, somewhere around there, right? And if the market goes nowhere, and this is 4 days, it ends in 4 days. If the market goes nowhere, I make a substantial profit. If the market happens to skyrocket, then I'm risking less than $100 on this trade. So with leg 5, without leg 5. With leg 5, without leg 5. Everybody understand, right? Questions? If you can put on a better trade by utilizing something that is only available to you if you sit in front of the market, and TradePartner allows you to do that, it's worth every penny because your time is worth far more than $997, which is what the lifetime access to this to TradePartner is. Okay, now some of you might be saying that seems too difficult. It seems too complex. It's too complicated. 5 legs in a trade, seriously? Well, it's not. Trust me, it's not too difficult. The only reason that it might seem too difficult is because before TradePartner, almost no one was able to think about this kind of trade, much less participate in it. It's not even available to most of you because you can't sit and watch the screen. So of course you're not going to think about, hey, what if I add this fifth leg to this trade? What happens? So that is certainly a major contributing factor to why you might think it's too complicated or too complex or whatever. It's not too complex. It's not too complicated. It's just a matter of exposure. And then some of you might be saying, well, it's too much commissions to put on a 5-legged trade. Well, that's one of the reasons why the first broker that we hooked up with, TradePartner, is hooked up to, I should say, is Tradeer Brokerage, who offers 0 commission trading. Okay, you pay $47 a month, unlimited trading. You pay it to them, unlimited trading, commission free. And so you don't have to worry about whether it's 4 legs or 5 legs or 7 legs or 12 legs. And of course, there is overkill. Don't get me wrong, there is overkill, but you can place these all the time and you don't have to worry about the commission structure because of that. Now, if you have to use another broker, then obviously you want as few legs as possible, but you still are leaving a lot of opportunities on the table. There are just too many tremendous opportunities out there available almost every day through adding legs or exiting legs at a profit once a trade is in place, to let I've never done it that way to be an excuse not to learn to do it this way. All right, but even if you're still even if that's where you are, I'm gonna give you an out with that as well. Nonetheless, TradePartner, the reason that TradePartner can do this is because we've set it up. It's called Smart Flow, the Smart Flow, if you will. Okay. And with this Smart Flow, what happens is you set up order 1, and I've explained this in a previous video, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this one. But you set up order 1 and you tell it what to do. Okay, here's my 4-legged order, and this was the one that was filled today. Here's my 4-legged order, and you tell it what to be filled at. And then order 2, you say, okay, as soon as order 1 is filled, then I'm going to execute order number 2. And in this one, I did it at market because I knew that I wanted to be immediately filled on this trade. And so literally within a second, I'm filled on this trade once order 1 is filled. Now I can do this for an endless number of strings. So I can say, here's order 2, then here's order 3. And once order 2 is filled, then place order 3. Or then order 4, and once order 3 is filled, then place order 4, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's no limitation. Again, there is overkill, but we're not limiting it. TradePartner doesn't limit what you can do. And yes, there are times where I have many legs along this line, and I'll show you one here in a second. But nonetheless, once you start thinking this way, the possibilities are literally endless because the markets move, right? The markets move, and if you're able to take advantage of markets moving, the possibilities are endless, especially without sitting in front of the screen all day. In fact, here's one client who sent me an email the other day. I think it was Friday, who had never traded an option before about a year ago, if I've got my time frame right on that. So he sends me an email and he says, hey, this is the trade I've put on. And this looks complex, but again, this was done in PDS Trader. It looks complex. Group 4 is the red trade, and that was the first trade that he placed on. Then he placed on the trade that's in Group 3, and then the trade that's in Group 4, and then finally the trade that's in Group 5. And this blue line here, the very top line, is all of these trades combined. And what he did was he just made some adjustments as the market moved and allowed those adjustments to be made. Okay. And so he took a nice profit on this particular trade on Friday. And it's all because he started to think about how he could enhance trades based on market movement, or enhance trades based on things that he would never have been able to do before. And traders, again, especially option traders, miss out on tremendous opportunities based on intraday moves that occur in the market every day. So here's another example of a trade taken today. And this particular trade, again, has most of the majority of the profit potential is to the downside, and it will make a little bit of money if the market goes nowhere, and the risk is to the upside, and the risk to the upside is, again, less than $100. Okay, so again, I start with this trade or any trade like it, and this is a much more simple trade, by the way. It is literally, it's 2 legs and, or excuse me, 3 legs, and it's very, very simple. Now, I could add a 4th leg immediately here and create a fairly decent trade, but what I wanted to do with this one is I wanted to wait to add the 4th leg until I got a better price. And so either time would pass or the market would move favorably and I'd be able to get a better price for this leg. So I told TradePartner, hey, place this trade on, and after it's filled, then place on another leg at a better price. And I specified what better price I wanted it to be placed at. And so sure enough, within 5 minutes of the open, this trade was filled. And within 1 hour, my 4th leg was added to this trade, creating this trade. Okay, so that's within 1 hour. And again, unless you're sitting in front of the screen waiting for the first trade to get filled, you can't do this. But it's very simple, very, very logical, straightforward, and simple. And the process is you place on one trade, and then after that trade is filled, you place on a second trade. That enhances the first one. Okay, and so this was within 1 hour. Now, this is not the end of the trade, because when you start thinking about how this stuff works and how you can take advantage of it, you realize that there's a lot you can do if the markets move or if time passes. Now, you can't always do something, right? Sometimes you just have to say, okay, this is the trade, this is the initial trade. Once it's filled, then I've got my order 3 in, and then I've got my order 4 and order 5, or whatever the case is. But order 3 or order 2 and 3 and 4 may never be filled, and so you have to accept the risk with this. It may be that the market goes immediately higher and never comes back down or offers any other opportunity to enhance the trade. And I'll take this risk any day. This is a very good trade to place on without doing anything else consistently. However, why stick with this when you can turn it into this within 1 hour? Right? So that's within 1 hour. My order number 3 was filled, or excuse me, order number 2 was filled. And then when order number 2 was filled, I instructed TradePartner to place order number 3. And I did all of this morning before the markets opened. Literally took me 5 minutes to set it up, and then I start it running, and then I don't have to watch the market at all. Either the orders are filled or they're not, and it's as simple as that. So after this was filled, then it placed order number 3. And order number 3 was filled within 2 hours of the market opening. And so within 2 hours of the market opening, this is the trade I have. It cannot make less than $60 no matter what by this Friday. And I don't have to do anything else with it. And this occurs within 2 hours because the market moved up a little bit, and then it moved down a little bit, and then it moved back up a little bit. And because of this, I was able to create this trade. Again, cannot make less than $60 on this trade, no matter what. If SPY skyrockets, that's the worst case scenario in this particular trade, I have to make $60 minimum, period, right? And if it's anything below 286, I'm going to make more than $100. Okay, and a large area will be above $150. All because of TradePartner. One trade, 2 enhancements. I didn't have to sit in front of the screen. Tell me this is not worth a lifetime access to learn how to do this. Again, not going to be able to do this every time. Doesn't happen in 2 hours sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't happen in 2 days. Sometimes it doesn't happen at all. But if you can consistently turn this into that and then into this, and I'm not done. There's something else I can do with this, by the way. But if you can do that, why wouldn't you? I mean, why wouldn't you, right? To create a risk-free trade. Because this trade that's what this trade is. It's a risk-free trade, minimum gain $60 no matter what. All right. So if you still don't think, if that doesn't convince you, if you still don't think that you want to capitalize on this type of trading on your own, you're still going to want to use TradePartner. And why is that? Well, the reason that is the case is because when I set these up, right? So in the morning, I'll set these up, and I set them and I let them run, and I don't have to touch them again all day because I've planned it all out. And I've set it up in TradePartner, and TradePartner will execute it based on the plan that I gave it. Again, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, it's not long to set these up. So what I do is I set these up and I let them go. Okay, now with TradePartner, all I have to do to give you the same exact setup is hit share. I can share the trades, that I'm placing with you in your copy of TradePartner. And all you have to do is say, yeah, I want to take this trade, or I want to take these series of trades, and hit confirm. That's all you have to do. And so you don't have to set it all up. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about how complex it might be or complicated it might be, which it's not, and it's worth learning to do on your own. But if you don't want to take that time, you'll be able to subscribe to these same types of trades through TradePartner, being able to share the trade files. And again, I already mentioned this, but there was some confusion. This is not automated trading from the standpoint of we do not access your account. Okay, we do not access your account. What we do is we send you a file, and then you, in your TradePartner, either say, yeah, take these trades, or no, don't take these trades. All right. So, or you can modify them if you'd like. You can do that as well. We give you the file. You can do whatever it is that you want with it, but it's like a one-click. Hey, take these trades in my account. Okay. So it's as close to being automated as you can possibly get. There will be a time at which where you can set it up and say, okay, for this particular strategy, I want it to take all the trades that that come across without having to confirm each individual one every single time. But that's not going to happen on the current version. That'll be down the road once there is some more time behind using this with our traders. All right, so that is an alternative that, again, is only available through TradePartner. Nothing else. Nothing else can do it unless I physically had access to your account, which I don't want. And there's no way to do this. So TradePartner allows you to do it. Now, there are different smart share subscriptions. Okay, different types of subscriptions trying to do different things, have different risk levels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, you're going to get a 3-month trial to every single smart share subscription that we offer over the next 12 months. And that alone is going to be worth the $997. Okay, so you'll see the trades. You can either confirm them and take them, or you can not, or you can modify them, or you can just watch. It doesn't matter. And those subscription levels at $97 a month would be the average. There are going to be some that are more expensive than that because there's a huge limitation on how many can subscribe to some of these smart shares. So you won't be in that limitation as a lifetime member. You might get involved with TradePartner at a later date, and you may have wanted to get into a certain subscription, but it'll be full because there are huge limitations with these smart share subscriptions. So you won't have to worry about that either, and you're going to get a three free-month trial to every single smart share subscription when it is offered. So, for example, if I offer a brand new one on September 1st, you're going to get 3 months free subscription to that brand new one that's offered on September 1st. And then you can watch it and decide whether you want to subscribe to it once that 3 months is over or not. Totally up to you on whether you do that. Or you may be watching some of these and learning how to do them on your own. And you may say, you know what, I want to be able to provide a smart share subscription. And you can do that because you can share any file you want with subscribers who may subscribe to yours or via email address based on their trade partner. And it'll show up in their trade partner, and they can do the same thing. Say, yeah, I want to take this guy's trades, or I don't want to take this guy's trades. It's a tremendous tool from that standpoint if you don't want to do the work or learn a new way or think about how to take advantage of market action, whatever the case is. Okay, now another thing that there was a little bit of confusion about is the smart fills. So if you need to get in or get out, you generally don't want to get out at market ever unless you absolutely have to get in and get out immediately. All right, so for example, today, because on that fifth leg, I did go ahead and get in at market because I definitely wanted to get in as soon as I was filled on that fourth, but you don't have to. Instead, there are going to be times where you want to get a better price than market. You don't have to get into the trade, so you can afford the ability to play the market. And so what happens is that TradePartner can actually work the bid-ask for you to get the best fill available. It's called smart fills. And again, I don't want to get too far in the weeds on how it works or why it works, but just as a short explanation, it just simply uses a series of cancel and replace orders automatically until you are filled at the best possible price according to your limitations. Right? There might be a price that you don't want to get filled at, and so it'll stop putting in the order at that time. But it would be as if you were in front of the screen clicking on cancel and replace every 5 or 10 seconds, trying to get a better fill than what the market fill will give you. Because some of these, the bid-ask spread is pretty wide in some option markets. And so if you employ this, then rather than them hosing you with the ask when you're trying to buy an option, for example, at the best possible price, man, in some of these markets, if you go in at market, it's game over, man. They just took you for a ride, right? So this will allow you to be able to get the best price available up to the limitation of whatever it is that you don't want to get filled at. Okay, so it works the bid ask for you by just instituting a series of cancel and replace orders as if you were in front of the screen trying to get filled. Let's say you wanted to get filled at absolute highest price of $1.10, but the bid ask spread is showing at 90 cents versus $1.10. Right, so why take $1.10 if you can get 95 cents or 96 cents or 97 cents? And so you might be, okay, put the order in at 95 cents. Wait for it. 10 seconds, not filled. Okay, I got to cancel that. Put it in at 96 cents. Wait 10 seconds. Okay, not filled. Put it in at 97 cents. You don't want to sit in front of the screen and do that, right? TradePartner will do that for you automatically and go all the way up until you're filled. And it might be 102, 103, somewhere around there, but it's not 110. And you'd be surprised at how much that adds up over time, especially if you're trading bigger lots on some of these trades. So I can go on and on and on about the endless ways that TradePartner can help you make more money, increase your probability of success, and decrease your overall returns. But more importantly, I can go on and on about how TradePartner can help you save time while also increasing your returns. It is the best of both worlds. It is almost like you have a trading partner. And there is so much more we're adding in the future. Stuff that I'm not even going to go into right now. Stuff that we've already done in the past with other programs that almost none of you have access to, that we are incorporating into TradePartner, and you'll get access to all of it. No fees, no upgrade fees, no maintenance fees, no nothing. It's all there. It's under the lifetime access. But here's the deal: it ends tomorrow. I'm opening it up to only 100 traders. We're already at like 82 or 83 at the time that that the webinar started. Okay, and there are some questions that I have or that came across. So I wanted to give this clarification. I want to give everybody, make sure that they understand what it is that they're passing up on if they pass up on it. So I did the webinar. The recording's going to be available for a short time period. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you in through tomorrow. And we might go over 100, but as long as you do it before tomorrow, before the end of day tomorrow, then I'll let you in. But that's it. That is absolutely it. Confusion or not, hopefully I've explained it enough to where most everybody understands exactly the value of what they're seeing. And again, this is an introductory offer only. You'll not see it again after tomorrow. It's done after tomorrow. You will not be made this offer again. And the reason is because it's just simply not a sustainable business model. To add all of these features and the benefits and to maintain it, the servers and the programmers to keep on staff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's an ongoing cost with this. I mean, I've spent well over $1 million bringing this thing. And if you want to, well, I'll just leave it at that. I've spent well over $1 million easy bringing this to market. And there are ongoing expenses. So I cannot offer this as an ongoing way to access TradePartner because I won't be able to afford it. Just based on the sheer cost of doing this. So you are getting a tremendous offer, tremendous deal in doing this. To clarify, we are currently hooked up again to Tradier Brokerage, but we'll be adding TD Ameritrade and IB in the near future. That process has already begun. We're well into that process, as a matter of fact. And I don't want to give a date, so I just say coming soon. I don't want to give a date just simply because sometimes programmers run into unexpected things that delay it by a week or 2 weeks or a month or sometimes 2 months. But we're close. And so I'll leave it at that. So even if you don't want to trade it at Tradier Broker, you're still going to want to take advantage of this offer because we will be adding brokers to it in the near future. And in the near future, once these brokers are added, we will have already added cost and expense to bringing it to market, and you're just not going to see the offer again. So my strong suggestion is if this resonated with you, if whether it's you want to learn how to take advantage of market movement because you've never thought about it before, or you want to take advantage of somebody else taking advantage of market movement through the smart share, you're going to want TradePartner. So I'm going to strongly suggest that if it resonated with you in any way, that you grab your copy of the lifetime access to this trading platform. It is the trading platform of the future, and it's not if, it's only a matter of time, because there are some simple things. I went over some of the more complex things. There are some simple things that you're going to want to use TradePartner for that's going to help you out, even without all of the complexity or the added complexity of watching these markets. Sometimes it'll help you get out of a trade. Are you able to sit in front of the screen at the close when you need to get out every day, or on expiration, or whatever the case is? Some of you may be taking advantage of the seasonal trades and the seasonal opportunities that are out there. Sometimes we like to roll. So for example, once I get into a trade, I go for double the profit or double the price, and then I look to get into another option in that seasonal trade at a better price. And so that requires TradePartner if you want to do it efficiently. Otherwise, you're taking a risk and not getting that roll, that favorable roll. So again, on and on and on and on I can go with what TradePartner is going to do. If you can't tell, TradePartner was created out of my need as a trader, right? So this is not a programmer's platform. This is a trader's platform. And I spent the time and the focus on the things that are needed most. And then obviously we have a long list of things that we'll be adding to it in the future. Okay. All right. So I said I wanted to take questions. And again, yes, this was recorded. I will make the recording available through tomorrow. After that, it's done. And so if you miss part of it, then you'll be able to go through that and watch it. Okay. All right. So let me see here. Time Q&A. Yep. We are in the Q&A session right now. Fifth leg was a market order. That is correct in that instance. Let's see. When you exit, you have to exit two different trades minimum. Which first, or just depends on magnitude of profits loss. So Daryl, excellent question. In the five-legged trade, when I exit, do I have to exit both at two different trades? Well, so I actually have exit orders in place that can be hit at different times for different legs. Again, I don't want to get too caught up in the weeds on that particular trade, but that's the case with a lot of these, is that you can exit, you can leg in and out of the exits, again, just by setting up with TradePartner and getting favorable fills from that. Let's see. Ryan, I can't find the trades you're talking about. Well, so it's a process to learn it, no question about it. I mean, no one's going to, if you've never thought about this type of trading, you're not going to look at it and tomorrow be an expert at it. No question about it, but it's not that difficult. It's not going to take you that long at all. Okay. Will TradePartner show the risk graph associated with the order? Lawrence, we're going to go a step beyond that. It doesn't do that yet because PDS Trader does it, but we're going to go a step beyond that. And just to show you what's going to happen is, let's say you have order 1, and that's your core trade. That's the first trade. You want it filled before anything else is placed. Well, you'll be able to see the risk graph for that first order. And then you'll be able to see the risk graph for when order 2 is filled. And then you'll be able to see the risk graph for order 3. And you can see that all before you ever turn the smart orders on. All right, so you can literally say, okay, here's my plan. Here's order 1. What does it look like? Okay, looks good. Here's what adding order 2 does. Oh yeah, that looks great. Here's what adding order 3 does. Okay, that looks even better. Looks perfect. That's what I want to do. Turn it on, and you're off to the races. How's that? Let's see. Yes, you'll be able to hear and watch this again. I will send out a video. My problem is I live in Spain and can only trade with TS and Tasty Works. Can't use it, I don't think. So, Ruben, you will be able to use it. It's just not immediate. Okay, there would be a waiting. Hopefully, I don't want to give you a time frame, but it's soon. Okay. Let's see. You're not sending the trades out. Where can I find them? So Gary, if you have TradePartner, we aren't sending the trades out yet. The first one starts in 2 weeks. All right. So we have not started that process yet. So your 3-month trial to each of these won't actually start until the actual SmartShare subscription starts. Okay, and you'll have full notice of when that starts. Believe me, we'll let you know. Having SmartShare will be perfect for the learning curve on the field. Yep, that's exactly right. So again, yeah, the SmartShare, the first SmartShare subscription begins in 2 weeks. Yep, it will be hooked up to Interactive Brokers. Do you need so hopefully I've answered that. And I want to tell you, if you're in the States, you're going to want you're going to want to use TradePartner and the 0 commissions over IB as a general rule. I understand if you are not in the States, you want to use IB. Once we get it hooked up to IB, that's I totally get it. But if you have the ability, I would definitely use TradePartner. So Daryl, there are going to be tutorials coming out over and over and over and over again over the next several weeks and months. With one TradePartner subscription, can I trade both with one TradePartner subscription, can I trade both my TradePartner accounts? Mark, the answer is yes. You will be able to trade in both accounts, and I set that up that way because I am in the same boat. So you only need one TradePartner lifetime access, and you can trade in multiple accounts. Let's see here. Just scrolling through here. A lot of these I've already answered. A lot of similar questions. Yeah, Tony, I wish I could help you on the timeline with regard to IB. I'm not going to lie, they suck. I cannot stand IB. They make it very difficult. They have not cooperated at all. They don't offer support. They've made it very difficult, even though they claim to have an open API to hook up to. They've made it very difficult. So again, we're getting there, but no help from them. Let's see. So the latest version. So some of you started when we began TradePartner a while back. The latest version, you definitely want the latest version. So contact support and make sure you have the latest version. Are you happy that the tech is highly robust, so there's no risk of erroneous trades? Ed, that's a great question. The answer is yes, it is robust. However, this is technology, and so there are always risks that something in technology is going to screw something up. We've taken every precaution to make sure that doesn't happen. There are other things that are going on that also will often prevent that from occurring. So we haven't run into anything. It's as robust as I use it every day, and I'm not worried about it. And I use it in multiple accounts. If it wasn't robust to that degree, I wouldn't be using it like that, and I certainly wouldn't be on this webinar telling everyone. Does that make it impossible? No, it doesn't, because it's technology. All right, so can it at least show the trades, even though I trade at Tastyworks? Yes, Tom. So that might be, Tom, that's a great question. Basically, to summarize it, can I watch the trades even though I don't have a Tradier account yet? And the answer is, with this current version, no, but it is coming so that you don't have to have a Tradier account to still be able to watch the trades, get access to the files through a TradePartner copy. I would say that's probably, I hate giving time frames, but I would say that's probably coming within the next 30 days. Can we accept PayPal? Yes, we do accept PayPal. Contact support for a PayPal link. What will commission be for TD Ameritrade? I do not know this for certain just yet, but that'll be released when we release TradePartner with TD Ameritrade. Yes, so we will look at adding Tastyworks to the list of brokers. Absolutely. Can I trade in both Tradier and TD Ameritrade? It would require two versions of TradePartner because they interact with orders differently, and so a version of TradePartner that works with Tradier would not work the same with TD Ameritrade. So you have to have a different version, a TD Ameritrade version, if you will, of TradePartner. And that's their problem, their fault. Nothing we can do about that. Sharing subscriptions start in, the first one starts in 2 weeks. Will the commission at TD be special, lower than standard? That's what we are working on. That is correct. Will adding your system allow for zero commissions at the time? TD Ameritrade decides the zero commissions, not us. And so, no, I don't think that TD Ameritrade offers zero commissions. We have no control over that. So I have a larger account size. Can I multiply the trade size to match my account size? RJ, that is a great question, and it has a complex answer. The first answer is yes, you can modify these, and that includes the trade size, but that's with a caveat. Just because you have a larger account does not necessarily mean you should increase the trade size. That, of course, is beyond TradePartner. That goes into the money management issue, which I deal with in depth, very thoroughly. But you absolutely should be very, very cautious before you just assume that, because I have a larger account that I'm going to trade that much larger with this particular strategy. All right. But yes, you will have the ability to do that with TradePartner and with the smart shares. Let's see here. Are there plans to add? Yes, we have plans to add Tastyworks. Bob, I would to assign me or my password that I use to sign in to PDS Trader. Bob, I would get in contact with support on the password issue. I trade SPX weeklies at TradeEar, but to do so, they have us trade SPXW as a proxy. Will TradePartner allow me to trade SPXW? Yes, Rick. TradePartner allows any symbol that TradeEar has. You'll be able to trade in TradePartner. Can I stagger to the 3-month free subscription so I evaluate each one in sequence? RJ, absolutely. You are in complete control of when your subscription begins or when your 3-month trial to any subscription begins. You're in complete control with that. Okay. All right. Let's see here. When will we get access to TradePartner? If we sign up today, you'll get access. You'll get immediate instructions to get access. However, if you don't have a TradeEar brokerage account, immediate access is not going to get. So you'll have to open a TradeEar brokerage account. If I'm putting in orders at night or on the weekend and I went to trade, be entered, the market next opens. Can I just put execute at limit? Put daytime. Carter, excellent question. Summary is, if I'm putting in the orders at night or on the weekend, do I need to put in a date and time? Or can I just put it in at a limit so that as soon as the next market open session starts, it will place the order? And that's correct. You don't have to do anything special. If you want it to be placed as soon as the next market open session occurs, that's all you have to do. You don't have to put any kind of date or time or anything contingency on that. Let's see. Do you need to have the computer on all day for TP to do its thing? Mariano, excellent question, and the answer is no. You do not have to have the computer on all day. You don't have to worry about internet connection. You don't have to worry about any of that. All of this stuff is done through the cloud on the servers. So yeah, it's not on your machine. It's actually on the servers. Excellent question. Thank you for asking that. Let's see here. What about Canadian brokers? We're working on IB, Joey. Working on getting IB set up. Let's see. It is doubtful that TD Ameritrade is going to offer a zero commission subscription offer. It's just doubtful that they're going to go that route. When will TradePartner actually be ready to start trading with TradeEar? It's ready now. I've been trading it for many months. TradePartner URL. TradePartner.io is the login. TradePartner.io. Is this platform used for trading options? I have zero experience with options, so is this platform or SmartShare suitable for me? Well, so Yuan, very good question. If you have zero experience trading options, no, this platform will do this similar thing for anything. So, for example, there's actually one time where I wanted to buy and sell the support and resistance because the market was trading in a really small channel because there were some announcements coming and it was just going back and forth. And so I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to have TradePartner set up some smart orders, have TradePartner buy and sell at these resistance and support levels. And I think I did it 13 times. I was able to do that with TradePartner. And that was the underlying market. That was SPY before the announcement came out. At which point, obviously, I stopped it before the announcement came out. But now there's so many things that you can use it for. It's not just options. If with the SmartShare allows you to take advantage of some of the options without you necessarily knowing something. But I would definitely watch these first and learn about options before I actually would turn on a SmartShare subscription trading options in my account. So that I would definitely take the time to learn, and I would definitely watch before I just have them, turn them on in my own account. Let's see, I'm using a different broker than anyone else. Will TradePartner be synced with any and every broker? Any and every broker, Brian? No, I can't say that is the case because it takes work. We have to redo pieces of TradePartner every single time we hook up with a different broker. Because everybody's API is different. Everybody deals with orders differently, communicates differently, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I cannot make that promise, no. Dean, how funny. You just asked the question of what I just said I've done before. If you have a trading range, will you be able to buy and sell, say, 5 times within that range? Yes. Yes. Will you teach how to find how to find such trades? Yes, I have all sorts of educational material available to you outside of TradePartner, where you can learn how to take advantage of market movement and the passage of time to enhance trades. Is there some sort of mobile version so that we can monitor the trades while at work, especially when exiting trades to make sure we are out of trades? Yeah, so you can log in. We don't have the app specifically, but you can log in using your phone. Let's see. Can I trigger a trade using underlying price rather than a net credit price? Absolutely, RJ. Excellent question again. You can trigger a trade using time. You can trigger a trade using underlying price. You can trigger a trade using a credit or debit or limit or a combination of all three, or a previous order being filled or a previous order being canceled, and a whole bunch of other things that we're adding to it. But everything that I just listed is available right now with TradePartner. What is the minimum size account, and are you looking at E-Trade as well? So yeah, we are looking at E-Trade. Minimum size account depends on what you want to do and the broker that you're trading. At Tradeer, the minimum size account, I believe, is like something like $2,000. Again, that question goes outside of the scope of TradePartner. It totally depends on what it is you're trading. So please understand that that you need to answer that question based on what you're trading. Can we open multiple instances of TradePartner? The answer is yes. I have approximately 11 instances of TradePartner open on my machine right now because I have watch screens open. I have several smart orders that I have open that I like to keep an eye on, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, you can have many instances of TradePartner open. The ratio input is for weighted spreads, correct, and the trade size is determined only by the trade size input, correct? That is correct. That's a little bit more complex question. I'm not going to repeat it to confuse people, but Carter, you are correct. If you want to trade 3 spreads with 2 long calls and 1 short call, I would put in a 2-to-1 long ratio and then 1 short put spread and 3 in the trade size. That is correct. You understand it perfectly, Carter. Let's see here. A lot of questions. These are some great questions. Will the Synergy subscription be available through TradePartner Smart Share? Gordon, yes, it will. Absolutely. All 3 of them. So we have sit and watch to confirm your trades on Smart Share. Dan, do you have to sit and watch to confirm the trades? So to begin with, yes, I strongly suggest that is what you do. It's not necessary, but again, strongly suggest that that's what you do. I think we've taken care of every instance of problems that could occur, but again, it is technology. I don't want to be 100%. So I'll say 99.9%. All right, so let's see. TP is released. Oh, is it officially out of beta? No, Skip. It is officially still in beta. We do that just simply for precautionary purposes. Okay. How do you access smart fills? Not available just yet. So they're being. I'm going to make them available in about 2 weeks. All right. So that'll answer that question. What after 3-month trials if we don't want out? So if you want to continue the subscription, then you'll have the opportunity to continue a subscription. Every TradePartner lifetime membership will have an offer to get any and all subscriptions at a discounted rate. It'll be a short-lived offer. So once we release them, you'll have a time to evaluate, and you'll have an opportunity to subscribe to each Smart Share subscription at a discounted rate. If you pass that up, then you'd have to pay the normal rate, and if you wait too long, the Smart Share subscription might fill up. All of them will be limited. So, fair warning, but you'll always have first shot at it. There are limitations on how many separate accounts we can use with TradePartner. Well, Dave, I use it on 5. So I don't know, and that's too many. that it's too many. So I can't imagine that you're going to want to do any more than that. But yeah, you can. There's multiple accounts. If it's all under one username and password, which Tradier will set that up that way. If you want, 3 of, let's say you've got a personal account, a corporate account, and an IRA, and it's all under one username and password with Tradier, you can access all 3 of them with one TradePartner username and password as well. Let's see. Brian, shoot us who you are working with. I'm not even sure that they would allow, but if you'll shoot us who you're working with, we'll certainly take a look at them. TradeAir has been trying to come to Canada, Gordon, for a while. A lot of regulation. I can't speak for them on whether that's actually going to happen. and if it does, when. Carter, we're actually going, that's a good question. I'm not going to confuse everybody with it. There's going to be a tutorial on that probably early next week. Video tutorial. You are welcome, Richard. Joseph, we're going to try and get the best deal with TD Ameritrade we can possibly get for our clients, but I cannot say that they'll go zero commissions. What about Schwab? Schwab is awful on commissions. So unless they give us a tremendous commission deal, probably not high on the list. An action group, add a command area. Let's see. If I put execute order 1 at 15 credit GTC, that is a limit order at or better than 15 cents, correct? That is correct, Carter. When will TradePartner be ready for trading with Tradeer? It is ready. It's been ready for many, many, many months. What time frame on the smart alerts are you planning? The first Smart Share subscription begins in 2 weeks, Tom. Believe me, you'll be notified about it. So what is the total cost for everything? Also, how do you know? William, what is the total cost for everything? All right, so that's an excellent question. Right now, as of right now, we do not have a lifetime offer for the Smart Share subscriptions. We've kicked it around. Not comfortable offering that just yet. If we do offer it, it will be sent to you guys first. So what we're doing is we're giving you 3 months free, and then you can either choose to subscribe or not choose to subscribe to whichever ones that interest you. Again, adding lifetime access for subscription-based products very, very difficult because it's just not a good business model, especially when there's limitations on the number of subscribers that you can have. Let's see. Would you consider hooking up with TradeStation? That's a good question. I don't know that they would allow us to hook up to them. And we'll just leave it at that because we do better than they do. We create better what they've tried to create for dozens and dozens of years. All right, if you can only use IB, how will you be able to trade the 3 months? So you would just wait to start your 3-month trial, Ross, until we introduce the IB connection. Victor, so where and how to order? In the email that you got to sign up for this webinar is also a link to buy. You'll also get another email with another link to buy. It is not downloadable. It is web browser only. Works in the cloud, so you don't have to have a computer open. You don't have to have internet access, except for when you actually initially turn on a smart order or a smart share file. Once it's on, you don't have to have internet access. You don't have to have your computer open. Nothing. It's there. Not the case with obviously downloadable platforms. Let's see here. Monthly pricing. Yes, the monthly pricing plan at Tradeer is a special through us. You cannot get it outside of us. So you have to mention to them, hey, I'm a client of Quantum Trading Technologies, Ryan Jones, TradePartner. They'll know all three of those, and they'll give you the deal. TD Ameritrade is cooperating better than IB, much better, to my shock, actually. Let's see. Is Tradier the only commission-free broker? Tradier is not the only free commission broker, but it's the only free commission-free broker that we know of that we will are currently are hooked up to or have plans to be hooked up to. There's another gentleman who attended this who said that he has a commission-free account somewhere else, and he's going to send that to us, and we'll look into them. But that's down the road. Michael, excellent question. I just looked at TradeEar and they have a $3.49 per order equity, 35-cent contract commission. That's correct because you can only get the zero commission deal through us. Okay, so just call them or email them and say, hey, I'm a Ryan Jones client, I'm a Quantum Trading Technologies client, or I'm a TradePartner client. Any of those three, they'll tell them you want the $47 deal. With the two versions be included, i.e., we can have both IB and TradeEar and TD Ameritrade versions for one cost. That is correct, Dave. We will not charge you any other fees. $9.97 is it. If you want it for TD Ameritrade and you want it for IB and you want it for TradeEar, it's yours. I told you, we made this a no-brainer offer for the first 100 traders. So not the case if you don't take advantage of this offer. Do you have a detailed video on how to use features on TradePartner? We have several videos, Carter, and more are coming. Lots more are coming. And we try and break them up into small segments so you don't have to watch, an hour video every time. But you'll have to forgive me because sometimes I get a little, I go off on rabbit trails, I explain things, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, just got off on a rabbit trail right there. I use TDA TOS at $1 per trade. Yep, that's an excellent commission rate, no question. Will Smart Share bundle Synergy profits? Yes, if you're a Synergy profit subscriber, you will get all three Smart Share subscriptions in your 3-month trials. And then you'll be able to continue all three at a huge discount beyond 3 months if you so desire. Is this hooked up to allow 401k trading account? Yes, it is, Daryl. That mainly has to do with your broker, but yes. Bob, probably not going to add TradeStation. I'm not going to completely rule them out, but we might be considered competition to some degree. Does TradeEar support Roth IRAs? Yes. Excellent. Wow, this is great questions. A lot of them too. When will TradePartner be ready? Tom, thank you. We haven't even implemented everything that I've thought of, so appreciate that. So once the trades are set up and the green box is going, I can log off. That is correct, Carter. Once the green box is going, you can throw your computer out the window if you so please. With the beta version, I've often had to log out of both TP and TradeEar and then log back before they open. Yeah, unfortunately, John, that is an issue with. It's not an issue; it's a requirement of TradeEar, and you just have to log back in. So yeah, you have to generally log in once a day. Okay, it won't extend your login past a day. No, it's officially it is still in beta, and we're just doing that based on just to be precautionary. So yeah, it does still say beta, but um, it's working great. Is Tradier a superior trade platform to Think or Swim? So Joseph, that's a great question. Hopefully, um, if you were watching today, you saw some things that you can't do at Think or Swim. All right, now I'm going to be straightforward with you. I specifically did not focus on some of the standard stuff that is in every single broker platform out there, like charting and graph, well, mainly charting stuff. And the reason that I didn't do that is because everybody already has charting. There are charts that are available everywhere. Yet you cannot do what I showed you today in Thinkorswim. You can't do it in TD Ameritrade. You can't do it at TradeStation. You can't do it anywhere. Certainly not IB. So I focus on what does not exist out there as first. Now we'll be adding all of that stuff in the future. So when you say better, I don't want to use that term. It's different. And it's because we focus on what you cannot do with other trading platforms that personally I needed. Again, TradePartner was created because I needed it because all these other platforms, while they have a lot of bells and whistles, great things and whatnot, practically speaking, not so much. So hopefully that's a good answer for the question. I cannot give a time frame for these other brokers. All I can tell you is that we're working on them and it will be soon. Ralph, I see now why you're asking that question. Please get in contact with support either through the chat or through email, and they will get you taken care of. Will I send out a change to original trade after it was executed? Let's see here. After it was executed, if you change the trade on your end. So Bob, to begin with, no, I'm not going to change the trade. So I plan out the trade every day, and either it works or it doesn't. Either it's filled or it doesn't. And then based on whether it's filled or not, I create the file for the following day. So I do not send out changes intraday. Now, eventually, that will be a possibility when we release a version that allows you to say, okay, here I give it permission to take these trades and any additional trades or changes that might be made throughout the day. And then, so eventually that might be something that is included, but it's not included right now and it's not necessary. Watching the Smart Share will be a great tool. Yes, watching the Smart Share will be a great tool for learning the SPY trades. Absolutely. Jerry, Thinkorswim, and I assume TD Ameritrade has option commissions that are too high for many of the strategies that are profitable with them. Are you going to offer lower commissions to the people using TradePartner? We are working on getting a special commission rate for our clients. I cannot tell you whether that is actually going to be the case or not, but I'm almost for certain it will be. Let's see. To trade a range, as you described, did you have to enter 13 buy and 13 sell TP entries? Kind of repeat function. So Kenneth, that's an excellent question. Is there a repeat function? And the answer is yes, but it's not available in your version yet. Okay, so yeah, the repeat is coming, and it is so. There's more to it than that, and it is so cool. Let's see. Are there tutorials about option trading with TradePartner. There are tutorials on how to use TradePartner to trade with options, but with regard to learning specific strategies, there are different courses. And so I would strongly suggest buying one of the courses. And the first one that you want to buy is called Options for Profits. Options for Profits. And you can actually go to optionsforprofits.com and you can get that course. That's where I would start with. Yes, if you currently have lifetime access, you will get access to the smart share bonuses. Absolutely. Yes, you can trade in 2 different Tradier accounts. I have 5, and I use one TradePartner platform to do it. What would the advantage to having TradePartner if it isn't hooked up to the broker that I'm using? First of all, I would strongly suggest that you consider moving brokerage accounts. If that's not the case, then you would have to wait until we get hooked up to your broker. If we get hooked up to your broker, I'm not even sure who that is yet. But secondly, you can still get the Smart Share trades, and while they wouldn't be implemented in your account automatically in the fashion that they are through TradePartner, you would at least be able to learn from them. So let's see, if we start with Tradier, can we then switch to TD when it becomes available? Yes, James, you most certainly can. Is there a TradePartner training somewhere? Lee, yes, there are videos and there are more coming, lots more coming. Any plans for text notifications? Excellent question, RJ. Yes, as a matter of fact, there are. They are in the middle of working on that right now. I would say within a month that will be available. We have a sandbox or paper trading platform to learn how to use TP. Paul, excellent question. Yes, but it's not available yet. I would say 3 months down the road before we actually have a paper trading platform to where you don't need to hook up to a broker to still get the trades, to watch the trades, have simulated fills, have access to data, all of that. The only difference is that it's not actually trading in an account. What time of day do you place your first trades? Before the market's open. The entire smart trade strategy is turned on before the market's open. Could a subsequent leg trade be changed if the first leg has been filled? Tom, yes, it most certainly can. You would just have to stop the smart order, change it, and then start it again. Is there a subscription where I can offer a personal strategy to others? Paul, excellent question. Right now, we don't require a subscription for that for lifetime members. That may change in the future, but if you want to share yours with other if you want to share your strategy with other TradePartner members, you can certainly do that, and there's no extra cost involved on your end. They would just have to have access to TradePartner and obviously an account. Brian, oh, you're working with Robinhood. Okay. I don't know about that, so I'll have my guys look into it. And if it's something we can do, you'll hear about it, believe me. Will TradePartner ultimately be a replacement for PDS Trader Signals? Brad, excellent question. The answer is absolutely yes. PDS Trader Signals are end of day, no changes in the middle of the day. No, if we're filled, I can't place another order. There's so many limitations with end of day signals, and so yeah, I'm going to be completely doing away with end of day signals in PDS Trader, and they're all going to be via TradePartner. And even if you don't have access to TradePartner, and believe me, that's not going to be for a while. But again, once we release the TradePartner paper trading version, you'll still be able to get the signals even if you're trading through a different account. So you can still access the information even if you have to place them through a different broker. Let's see here. Absolutely, Guido. You just let me know when, and we can absolutely get involved. We have a discussion on that. I use TradeStation now, but want to transfer to Thinkorswim. Will that work? Well, when it's working with TD Ameritrade, TD Ameritrade. Sorry, Daryl. When we switch to TD Ameritrade, then you'll be able to work with TD Ameritrade. I'm not sure about Thinkorswim, whether it's automatic or whether we have to do additional work for Thinkorswim as well. So I'll let you know on that. But again, all of that is in the near future. TD Ameritrade first, and then we go from there. I worked for TD Ameritrade, 1.25 per contract, and no flat fee is the cheapest I've seen. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't mean to be morbid, but if something happens to you, will TradePartner carry on? Yes, TradePartner has plans that will carry it for many years to come, that have already been laid out, already been working on. The company that is backing us is a significant size company. They will continue the process, believe me. I am not needed. I hate to say it that way. Let's see. My Trader IRA account is in a different login from my personal account. Yes, you can use both logins in two different instances of TradePartner, RJ, or you can contact Trader and say, hey, can you put both of these in the same login? And they'll do that for you as well. And that way you only have to open up one instance of TradePartner. Quite frankly, I like the multiple instances better anyway, rather than toggling between different ones. Let's see. Man, yeah, I can't believe we're still going through questions here. It's great. It's great. Absolutely great. We will be able to scale our order sizes automatically based on account sizes for the sharing, or would we have to adjust each order manually? I'm not sure if I understand your question, Gordon, but let me take a stab at it. So, will we be able to scale our order sizes? So, man, so if I'm reading that correctly, I think what you're asking is, okay, we send a smart share order file. It's based on one. Can you just simply say, okay, for every order, double it? Without going into the smart share file, you can do that individually with each order. No question right now, but that's an interesting request to be able to just say, okay, all of the orders are based on one in this smart share file. I want to trade them based on two, and just have a toggle that says that. That's an interesting. We'll look into that. Seems to be something that would be fairly easy to implement if that's what you're asking. So excellent suggestion, by the way. Let's see here. How does Tradeer compared to TOS? Tradeer doesn't really have a platform to speak of. What they do is they open up to APIs. They open up their API to third parties like myself who then incorporate our platform or our tool or whatever it is into their API. They don't deal with platforms. It's bare minimum. So there really is no comparison. But I don't know why you'd want to use TradePartner stuff anyway, because you can use TradePartner. Let's see here. They execute automated trades each day without me logging into TradePartner each day. I assume that you are asking whether that can be done, and as of right now, no, that will be available in the future. But as of right now, oh, your question came in different parts. Sorry, I didn't see the first two parts first. Rick, will you do me a favor and go into chat support tomorrow? Tell them to send me a message that I requested you to send me a message and who it is that you're actually having that done with, if you don't mind. Let's see. Commissions aren't the only factor to consider. IB has the best price improvement on trades in the industry through their smart routing system. Chad, yeah, that is correct. But they still suck. I don't like them. Sorry. I've had my run-ins with IB in so many different areas. We're still hooking them up, but man, I'll just leave it at that. Daryl, it only works with TradePartner right now. We're hooking up to TD Ameritrade, then IB. If TD Ameritrade does not automatically sync to Thinkorswim, which I think it does, but I don't want to be absolutely I don't want to be dogmatic about that because I'm not the tech guy. So I'll ask whether hooking up the TD Ameritrade automatically means communication with Thinkorswim. If not, then we have to hook up Thinkorswim after we hook up TD Ameritrade. TOS says one cancels other, but TradePartner has more opportunities to adjust my trades, correct? Oh my goodness, one cancels, the other is not even remotely close to what TradePartner can do. So yeah, the answer is an emphatic, unbelievably so, yes, Dean. TOS offers nothing even remotely close. Let's see here. How does TradePartner itself compare to Thinkorswim? Man, I don't know. You mean as a broker? They're awesome with regard to support. With regard to fills, I don't have a Thinkorswim account, so I honestly can't tell you. And I won't have a Thinkorswim account until we are hooked up. So ask me in a month. I'm an All-American, with access to TradePartner. Hi, Jerry. Your TradePartner access ends in January. So based on your deal, your access ends in January. All right. Wow. I think I actually got all the questions. So, wow, that's great. Hopefully you've enjoyed the webinar. Hopefully you've got your questions answered and any confusion has been taken care of. If not, again, contact support. They'll try and answer the question if it wasn't clear here. And tomorrow will be the last day, period, end of story, done deal. It'll be over. And so make sure that if this resonates, that you take this opportunity now and don't let it slip by. A lot of stuff happens with distractions and whatnot, and you forget, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the link is going away after tomorrow. Gone. So, all right, everyone, appreciate your time, appreciate the questions. Looks like I got a couple of additional TP eliminates the biggest barriers I have to trading options. That's exactly right, Carter. Can't tell you how thankful I am for all the blood, sweat, and tears you've put into this setup. Carter, I appreciate that comment very, very much. All right, Daryl, you have a good day. Thanks, everyone.